Lesbian detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace.
What?
Could it be a psychotic
I
break
don't know.
or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Live right now. Lesbian detective. Lesbian detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready to go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the lesbian detectives.
This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we are here talking about missing and unsolved murders.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you all had a fantastic Valentine's Day. I had a good one. I took my daughter out, as I said. We went to her favorite soft playground and went to get something to eat, and we both got our nails done. It was an experience. I love seeing her try new things.
We're going to celebrate ours next week, actually. Some stuff kind of fell down the pipeline, but nonetheless, we're going to make it up.
Yeah, it was just like life hit us left and right. Everything that could go wrong went wrong, and I was very disappointed we couldn't go to the restaurant, but we redid it and went to another restaurant that I really want to go to. This case right here, it kind of hits home for me. Somebody actually asked me to do this case, and it's crazy that we're both from the same hometown. So she's from Mississippi, and I'm like not originally from Mississippi. I moved to Mississippi when I was like a little older in life. Mm-hmm. But we actually, me, and the victim went to the same college.
Wow.
In different time periods. That was the craziest thing. Like, I'm like, world, like people always say that the world is so small until like it happens. You be like, that's crazy that we all three of us went at different times in life.
Right.
Like I was the last one because I like the baby. So like each one of them like went in different times, and as one graduated, another one came. I mean, I was like flabbergasted when I was doing this case. I was like, oh my God, I went to this college.
Such a small world.
It really is. Today's case is about a woman from Mississippi, a devoted mother vanished without a trace on New Year's Day, 2021. She had dreams for a better future, but found herself entangled in a troubling relationship with an older man, one some believe to be dangerous. The official story of her disappearance is a mystery. She was last seen before dawn, launching a boat onto the Tallahatchie River with her companionship. He claimed she panicked, left the boat, and attempted to walk back through the dense wilderness. Yet hours passed before she was reported missing, but it was by somebody else. The search uncovered chilling clues, footprints leading to the forest, a boot cut away, a coat, a glove, and a broken handle shovel. As time dragged on, theories darkened. Whisper of a past violence, eerie parallel to another woman's mystery death, and a troubling confession from an unreliable witness all painted a sinister picture. Authorities have not given up, but without a body, the case remains unsolved. The river holds its secrets, and someone out there knows the truth. The question remains, will it ever come to light? This is the case of Jessica Stacks. Jessica Nicole Stacks was born on June 11, 1992 in Mississippi. A devoted mother of three, she was living in New Albany when she vanished without a trace. Despite her hardship, she held on to hope, graduating from Etowah Community College and maintaining close relationship with her family. But somewhere along the way, her life became entangled with 45-year-old Jerry Wayne Baggett, a relationship clouded by commotion and some whispers of violence. The story of Jessica's disappearance on January the 1st, 2021 is laced with inconsistencies, the kind that make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. The official narrative spun by Jerry seemed to riddle with holes. He claimed that they set off on a flat-bottomed John boat on the Tallahatchie River before dawn, launching from County Road 46 just before 5:30 a.m. Security footage confirmed his truck towing a boat at a nearby gas station. But what was the real purpose that morning? Jerry said they intended to hunt for a wild hogs or a stranded deer in the flooded river bottom, floating 3.5 miles downriver to the Rocky Ford Bridge. Oddly, he held onto his phone while Jessica has been left with a friend. A curious choice for a woman supposedly trekking through the wilderness before sunrise. The river was swollen, its current restless. At some point, Jessica reportedly panicked and insisted on leaving the boat 2 miles downstream. She stepped onto the riverbank, intending to walk back to County Road 46. Yet the boat was later discovered beached on the opposite bank, a half-mile away from the downstream. Jerry said he called for a ride and left. Jessica wasn't reported missing until 10:15 p.m.
Wow.
Over 12 hours later, and it wasn't Jerry who made the call. Deputies searched that night, but was forced to stop at 2 a.m. due to treacherous conditions. By daylight, they resumed with drones, divers, and search party combing the area. Footprints were found leading to Holly Spring National Forest, only to vanish in a flooded field. Scattered nearby were eerie remnants. The top of a woman's boot cut away, a coat, a glove, and a broken handle shovel. As the river receded, the search intensified. Cadaver dogs were deployed. Excavated efforts were conducted, yet nothing was found. Jessica's mother never believed that her daughter willingly set foot in that boat. Fishing, maybe, but hunting wild hogs in the pitch black dark, not a chance.
Right.
She only weighed 105 pounds soaking wet, Patricia said. It was pitch black. No street lights. She wouldn't go hog hunting. She would have gone fishing. Jessica's purse was still on the boat. If she truly had left on foot, why would she abandon it? And then there was her phone, left with a man named Willie. When her mother dialed Jessica's number that morning, a strange man answered. "She's not here," he said, and hung up.
Wow. Excuse me for calling my daughter's phone.
Right. And why would you say, like, she's not here, then hang up my daughter's phone?
I'd be like, where is she? Why do you have her phone? Like, what the heck? I'm the one with the questions.
Right. That evening, Jerry's daughter called Patricia with a chilling message. Don't worry about Jessica. This was hours before she even reported her missing.
How would she know?
Right. So her mom probably didn't even know she was really missing yet.
She was like the last person to know.
Seems like it. Patricia had feared Jerry, a man nearly her own age who latched onto her much younger daughter. Jessica had appeared at her mother's door more than once, bruised, battered, her eyes swollen shut, patches of her hair missing. There were stories of him abandoning her in the heat, leaving her stranded without any water.
Wow.
Yet, after Jessica's disappearance, Jerry never called her mother, never searched, and never explained. He never called. Not once, Patricia said. His daughter brought me Jessica clothes.
Jerry's previous girlfriend, Stephanie Killo, also had a mysterious death. On September the 10th, 2018, Stephanie Killo ran from a house naked, screaming for help, laying on the horn of a car in desperation. Neighbors heard her cries, but were too afraid to intervene. By the time the authorities arrived, she was dead. The cause? An overdose, they said. But those who knew Stephanie questioned the story. No visible wounds, yet her death was ruled suspicious. Had history repeated itself? Then came Barbie Floyd's account, a story as haunting as it was uncertain. They killed her on her back porch, and put her in the lake across the street, Floyd alleged. According to her, Jessica, Jerry, and Billy Rogers had been at her house the night before. In the early morning hours of January the 1st, Billy Jack ran back inside, frantic and blurred. That didn't mean you had to kill her. Later, Floyd noticed her father's shovels were gone. Blood stained the porch, she told detectives, but she was deep in her addiction then. Her credibility shattered before she could even speak. 3 weeks later, she checked into rehab. She'd been sober ever since, and though she had no proof, she clings to one hope, that Jessica is found. Law enforcement hasn't closed the case. They scrutinized every piece of evidence, met with the district attorney, even subjected Jerry to a polygraph, though the results remained undisclosed. But without a body, without undeniable proof, the truth remains buried. For Jessica's family, the agony lingers. Theories swirled. She was buried in the woods, fed to the wild hogs, hidden in a well? The answers remain submerged in the shadows of the Tallahatchie River. Jessica Stacks did not simply vanish. Someone knows what happened to her that night. The only question is, will the truth ever surface? Before we end this case, let's sit back and remember the woman that went missing. Jessica was more than just a missing person. She was a mother, a daughter, a woman full of dreams and resilience. Born in Mississippi, she faced struggles, but never stopped hoping for a better future. She graduated from college, stayed close with her family, and loved her children fiercely. But despite her determination, her life became entangled in a troubled relationship that will ultimately lead to her mysterious disappearance. On New Year's Day, 2021, she was last seen on the Tallahatchie River, under circumstances that never made sense. The official story, told by the man she was with, was full of contradictions. He claimed that she left the boat to walk back through the dense wilderness, but her personal belongings were later found abandoned. Search efforts uncovered eerie clues, footprints that vanished, a torn boot, a coat, and a broken handle shovel, but no sign of her. Jessica's mother never believed she willingly went on that boat. She wasn't reckless. She wasn't the kind of person to wander off in the darkness. And the man who was with her, he never called, never searched, never seemed to care. As time passed by, more disturbing details emerged. Another woman connected to him had died under suspicious circumstances years before. Then, a chilling confession surfaced from someone battling addiction, a claim that Jessica never even made it to the river. But without concrete proof, the truth remains just out of reach. Jessica's family still waits for answers, still hopes for justice. She was more than the mystery surrounding her. She was the light in her children's lives, a person who deserved love, safety, and a future. Somewhere, someone knows what happened. The question remains, will they ever come forward? This is the case of Jessica Stacks. Now let's get into some theories.
Theories. You or me?
I'll go.
Oh, wow, guys. That's the first time she has really gone first.
I have to throw you into a loop every now and again. I believe it was Jerry. And I say that because she was in an abusive relationship. I first-handedly witnessed relationships like that. And they never get better. They can tell you that they're sorry, that they're going to change. They tell you everything you want to hear, and you want to believe them, but it's not true. Seeing that he would beat her until her eyes were swollen, shut, grab her by her hair to where she had chunks missing, that person doesn't care about you. And when somebody tells you who they are, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. I believe it was him because he didn't care. That's the type of person he was. And then his ex, something similar happened. and she died of a suspicious overdose.
It's just a couple of things that I didn't put in this story that I wanted to discuss in theories. The girl who told me the story, well, the town they was in, she told me that Jerry is got a lot of pull. His family has a lot of pull. He does a lot of things that he gets away with it because of who his family is and what kind of pull they have.
They have power.
They have power. And one thing I say about power and people who have money and they think they can control the world and do this or that with it, you may have that power now, sweetheart. But when it crashes, everything around you going to go down. You're like, oh, I'm powerful. I got this. I got this. Sooner or later, the person who's helping you or defending you or helping you keep your crimes uncovered, they going to like go away.
What is that saying? Everything in the dark comes to light.
That's true. Jessica was on drugs. He did put her on drugs. And that's one thing about people like him. He put her on something that's so addictive that she can't even focus. You know, the person who saw the murder take place, the police didn't believe him because they was on this. Even when they got off of it, they still said, yes, I saw what happened. And that's so sad that they really didn't look into that situation. Like, oh, that's like, this person's on drugs. We cannot believe them.
Right. The person's not a credible witness because they were on drugs at the time.
But it seemed like everybody was in that group was on it. Like, it seemed like they always on that type of lifestyle.
Right.
And it's like her mom, like a mother knows her child. Well, her mom said, like, my daughter wouldn't go hunting like that at that dark of a night. Fishing, yes, but she knew the story was fishy. And as a mother, I'm sitting back and I'm putting myself in her shoes. My daughter's getting beat. My daughter's on drugs because of this man. My daughter's life is going downhill because of this man. It's a statement that she said that stayed with me. She said, my daughter was a good girl. The drugs messed her up, but she was a good girl.
And I bet the mom was trying to help her, but when you become an addict, it's very hard. And then especially because he used that to manipulate her.
How he beat her, he's weak to me. Because somebody like that, if a real man step on him, even a real woman, because like her, he like manipulated her, he made her feel less than. But a woman that's, I'm going to say an alpha woman, him and her can't go. Because she's going to show him, like, you're not going to put your hands on me. You're not going to treat me this way. You're not. And first of all, Jessica was 28 when she went missing. He was 45.
Wow.
Look at, I'm not saying that, okay, people are like, oh, see her age gaps, like blah, 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 blah. Some people do believe in age gaps. I'm not the type of person do believe in age gap because people are like, oh, number is not a thing. To me, if you was already alive, graduated from high school or even college, and I was just being born, we can't be together. If you close to, first of all, think about it. He was close to her mom age. I cannot date somebody that's close to my mom age. I said I would go up to 10 years at the most, but close to my mom. Me and my mom was like 24 years apart.
It is cringe.
Yeah. I mean, some people you can do it, but I know it's just not for me.
For ourselves.
For us, well, my wife is like 4 years older than me, but I feel like sometimes they will see you like as you younger than them. They will like try to like parent you a lot of ways to me.
Like it's easier to be groomed by somebody who's older than you. But it's a process. Like I'm sure he didn't just come off as this bad guy. He probably came off as somebody charming, somebody that could offer her this, give her that, show her the world. And then slowly but surely he takes control over her. And before she knows it, she's too deep.
You're never too deep. Like you can, to me, I know some women or even men. And I think men, it's so hard for them to even come out and say they are in an abusive relationship. This girl, she posts on TikTok that her father was the person in an abusive relationship. Like her mom was beating her dad constantly, but he always smiled and made it through for his kids. I feel like sometimes if you are in a abusive relationship and you see the signs early, leave. Don't be like, oh, I invested this much time. No, forget time. You can get your time back. One thing you can't get back is your life.
It really depends who you surround yourself with, though, because the person that I knew that was in an abusive relationship, she always got told, like, the man is right. And who's going to want you with all those kids? What are you going to do? You know, like no man's going to, like her self-worth was not there because of the type of person he was and what she believed. And so she always thought it was better to just stick around and do it for the kids. And honestly, like that's something that I want to teach our daughter is this is how a man or a woman, whoever she wants to be with, should treat you. And you don't deserve anything less than this. But there's like a person I know too that she was having issues. A little boy was like kind of pushing her around and stuff. And
She talked to me.
what did you say?
I told her, I would like hit him back. She like, what's here? I said, a man's going to try you. That's one thing my grandma put inside me and my cousins. I don't know if some of my cousins really listen to her, but I also have to kid that if you set me down, you told me how life is, I'm listening. I told her, I said, hit him back. And they are in high school. He kept hitting her and hitting her. And I'm like, hit him back. And she said, why? I said, when you hit him back and you hit him back with all your might. I mean, you ball that fist. And I told her how to ball her fist up and hit and everything. I don't play that. Like, she's very important to me, guys. And she was in high school. I'm like, no, we're not doing that in high school.
Right.
And she did. And guess what? He didn't hit her back. He didn't mess with her. He knew that, like, hey, she's not that weak. And
he's got the wrong one.
And it's like this, like a lot of guys will show you they red flags. They will wave that red flag in the air, like, look at it, look at it. And I have said this on a podcast before. My grandma taught me and my cousins, if a man hit you as a play fight, we don't play fight. If he hit you as a play fight, I'm playing with you. You hit him back with everything you got to tell him, I'm not the one. I'm not the one.
But the important thing is any person should stand up for themselves. And if something's not acceptable, they need to speak up.
We know about Jessica and we also know about Stephanie. Stephanie, first of all, let's talk about this. When I read her thing, it's not a lot about her because, you know, the police said that she OD'd. So, you know, it's not a lot of information about that. I didn't even know about it. I don't want to put the girl information too much out there, the person who came and told me to tell this story. But she knew a family friend of Stephanie. And she said that if you listen to the case, she ran out naked. She was beating the horn. When I read online, the neighbors saw everything. The neighbors was watching, but the neighbors was too scared to come outside and help her. And the sad thing about it, she wasn't even in her home. She wasn't even at the guy home. That was at somebody else's home.
So the neighbors didn't know?
The neighbors saw everything happening.
No, I know, but did they know the family had power?
We don't even, probably so. They know he was dating, you know? And they stood in their house watching everything. And they called the police. They did call the police. But I feel like the neighbors know a lot more than what happened to Stephanie. Because they saw everything. For her to keep blasting her horn saying, help me, screaming that to me, I don't think she was ODing. I know nothing about ODing. Somebody can tell me in the in the comments or even inbox me if you feel safer that way.
I feel like if anything, it numbs you even more. Once you overdose, your body goes numb. You're not thinking. You're like asleep almost.
Because the police, when I read the information, they said this first. They said, oh, this case is very suspicious. It's no sign of abuse. There's no sign of injury or anything. This case is very, like, they didn't think she overdosed at first, but then I'm like, oh, we have to wait for the autopsy. The autopsy came out, oh, yeah, she overdosed. I feel like the police knew something happened with her and Jerry, but they was too scared to say anything. Because if you guys go and you read her information, the police said it like, oh, we didn't wait for the autopsy. This is very suspicious of how she died. Why would you say that? If there's a sign when somebody overdoses, you will see the sign, the foam of the mouth and all that. There's signs.
Right.
But for them to say suspicious, that's weird to me. I was thinking about the person who was there when she was unalive. What if she was unalive like that? What if she never left that night and she did not go hunting with him?
Right.
Because she said something about the shovel. The shovel was like so important to me because when they was looking for Jessica, they kept finding a shovel. And then for them to say my father's shovel was missing.
Right.
And she was out of her mind. If she was really like on heavy drugs and she said that most important fact, come on.
This was definitely planned. There were shovels involved. Somebody heard somebody say that didn't mean you had to kill her.
She heard the man say that.
And then Patricia, Jessica's mom, said her daughter would not go on a hunting trip. So it's just so many things that point to that family. And then like the neighbors, they didn't report when Stephanie was like honking the horn. It's just so many things that add up. And the police, like how you mentioned,
he has power.
The police, like, they said that it was a suspicious murder and then ruled it out on an overdose.
It's this quote I read. This lady said one day, and she said, you can help the bad guy out, the person who has the most power out. But when they fail, you falling with them. Your name and everything that you done to build your career is gone in a flash.
Right.
Because you chose to take the money to hide their secrets. That's one thing that I will always remember. Like, I'm not going to lie for anybody.
Oh, another thing. If you see something, speak up. Especially if it's somebody's life that is in danger.
Think about it. If a neighbor just came out and put her in their house and help her, we wouldn't maybe talk about her in this case. Every action have a reaction. If a neighbor came outside and helped Stephanie, and Stephanie told her story, got herself together and say, hey, this man's doing this, because it seemed like she was running from him. She wanted to be safe. And she said that a neighbor got her, Jerry could be in jail right now. Jessica could be still alive. Both women could be alive. But this man is still going on living his life. He didn't call the mama. He didn't have the guts to take the clothes to the mother house. He made his daughter do it. And it's like another thing, like the daughter, what is she seeing? For her to call and tell the mother that, like,
Right.
Why would you call her? She didn't even know her daughter's missing. Let's talk about it. Didn't even know. And then he waited 12 hours to say anything. He didn't even report her missing. I pray for Jessica family that they really get the answers that they need. This is our case, guys. This was a case suggestion. So please let me know if you want a case suggestion that you want us to talk about and tell our theories on. We are on all major podcast platforms. We are on YouTube. We are on social medias. Don't forget, I do True Crime 1 minute every day. Check us out. And this is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
Don't forget, everybody's a suspect.
Until proven innocent.
Bye.
Lesbian detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, lesbian detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready to go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the lesbian detectives.